Ah, we've all been there, right? You're standing in a shower that's slowly turning into a bath, or watching the kitchen sink drain at a snail's pace. It's gotta be one of the most annoying household headaches. But here's the thing. What if I told you that fixing it isn't about brute force? It's actually more about being a detective. So grab your imaginary magnifying glass, because today we are cracking the case of the clogged drain. You know that weird gurgling sound? Yeah, that's not just some random noise. It's your drain, literally trying to tell you something's wrong. Think of it like a distress call from deep inside your pipes. Our job is to figure out what that message means and see what's really going on down there. Okay, so let's get our detective hats on. Seriously, before you grab the first bottle of drain cleaner you see, the most important step is figuring out what you're actually up against. Because trust me, jumping in with the wrong solution can take a tiny clog and turn it into a massive, and I mean expensive, headache. So, like any good mystery, we've got a list of usual suspects. We just need to figure out which one is causing trouble in your house. Is it the kitchen sink? Well, your prime suspect is almost always going to be grease and little bits of food. Bathroom drain? Oh, that's a classic case. A tangled mess of hair and soap scum. Then you've got the sneakier culprits, like mineral buildup from hard water that happens over time. And for the really tough cases, we could be looking at solid objects that fell down the drain, or even tree roots invading the main line. And here's the key. Each one of these bad guys needs a totally different battle plan. All right, this is where the real detective work kicks in. We're going to narrow down the location of the problem with one super simple but absolutely critical question. So I want you to go check. Is it just that one pesky sink that's acting up? Or are the toilet and the shower backing up too? Seriously, the answer to this one question is probably the biggest clue you're going to get. Okay, so here's why that clue is a game changer. If you've got just one clogged drain, think of it like a little traffic jam on a quiet side street. It's a local problem, probably right there in that one pipe. But if you have multiple drains backing up, especially on the ground floor, that's not a side street problem. That's a massive pileup on the main highway, your home's main sewer line. And that, my friend, is a much bigger deal. So, once you've figured out where the problem is, it's time to pick your tool for the job. You've basically got two ways to go about this. You can either dissolve the clog, or you can physically pull it out. And believe me, picking the right approach is everything. So on one hand, you've got your chemical cleaners. These are made to, well, dissolve gunk like grease and soap scum. Then, on the other hand, you have mechanical tools. These don't dissolve a thing. They're all about brute force, physically breaking up the clog or yanking it right out. It's kind of like deciding whether you're going to melt the problem or just grab it and remove it. So let's get specific. If you're pretty sure you're dealing with grease in the kitchen, yeah, a chemical cleaner could be your go-to. But, and this is a huge but, you have to be super careful if you have older pipes or a septic system. Now, for that classic, unavoidable hairball in the shower drain, a drain snake is your absolute best friend. And hey, don't forget the humble plunger for smaller clogs. Just be gentle. You don't want to accidentally make things worse by jamming the clog in even deeper. But what happens when you have a clog that just keeps coming back? Well, that's when the pros bring out the big guns, something called hydrojetting. The best way to think about it is like pressure washing for the inside of your pipes. It's this super high-pressure jet of water that just obliterates years of built-up gunk, grease, scale, and even tree roots. And the best part? It does all that without using any harsh chemicals at all. And you know, that brings us to a really important moment. Look, I get it. Fixing something yourself feels great. But sometimes the smartest, and frankly, the bravest thing you can do is admit you need help and call in a pro. Okay, listen up, because these are the red flags that you absolutely cannot ignore. If that clog just keeps coming back, that's a sign. If you've got multiple drains backing up at once, the thing we just talked about, it's time to make the call. If you smell actual sewage, oh yeah, that is a huge warning sign. And finally, if your DIY attempts just aren't working, or you know your plumbing is old and fragile, please don't risk it. Calling a pro isn't a sign of defeat. It's the smartest possible move to protect your home from major damage. All right, but let's say you're sticking with the DIY plan, especially if you're using chemicals. We need to talk about safety, because this part is absolutely not optional. In fact, it's the most important step. So here's your safety checklist. Follow it to the letter. Number 1, protect yourself. Wear gloves and eye protection. 2, get some air in there. Open a window, make sure the room is well ventilated. 3, and I really cannot say this enough, never, ever mix different chemical drain cleaners. You can literally create toxic gas, and it's incredibly dangerous. 4,
Read the label. Just read the directions and follow them. And finally, 5, keep kids and pets completely out of the area until you are done. No exceptions on any of these.
So when you boil it all down, it comes back to one simple truth. The real secret to clearing a clogged drain isn't buying the strongest chemical or the fanciest tool. It's about playing detective first. It's about figuring out why it's clogged before you decide how to fix it. So the next time you hear that gurgle or see that water backing up, don't just see a problem. See it as a case to be solved. And now you've got the clues to do it.